Hello everyone. So got another testimony video today. This one is a very special one, and this is my own. Uh, I grew up in a very Christian household. My granddad was a pastor, and my dad wasn't. However, he was a very godly man, God-fearing, and very extreme Christian. He listened to old country gospel, and when I was around 7, 8, maybe 9, I accepted the Lord. There's another testimony of Jim W. He was a pastor when I was growing up the whole time through till adulthood, really. um, he taught me quite a bit too, and he baptized me, and I remember getting baptized. That was an incredible feeling. But shortly after that, I got into some bad things, and I was lost, to say the least. I lost my way greatly. I had 2 lifelong friends, and when I say lifelong, I mean one of them in particular, the one that's still alive, I have known since we were in kindergarten. And the other one that's no longer with us, almost the same, just as long. Like, not quite kindergarten, but shortly after. Anyway, so I was very, very lost. And my lifelong friend was, I knew he was a Christian. A lot of people wouldn't think that, but there was indications, like I was lost, and I had a cranking car and an awesome stereo, and we'd be driving around on a Sunday, and there'd be a church, and he like reach over and turn my radio off. I'm like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" And he was like, "No, you need to respect God, man. Like, that's God." And we got to talking, and yeah, he was a believer of Jesus Christ. Well, in this life, there's people out there that you never expect to outlive. And my lungs have never been great. I was born with asthma. I have deformed lungs. They're actually a little like larger, way larger than most other people's lungs, and they press against my diaphragm, and I have a really hard time breathing. And the doctors always told me that I wouldn't live till past 30, like, oh, much past 30, especially doing the things I was doing. Well, oh, you're count you out. And but I never expected to outlive either one of my lifelong friends. I was like, well, since they told me that, I was a teenager when they told me I wouldn't live past 30. So I figured, in my mind, I'm always living with the fact back then, especially, well, they'll outlive me. I ain't gotta worry about losing nobody. I'll outlive my parents. I'm fine. And when he died, it shook me. It shook me bad. I wasn't ready for it. It came out of nowhere, and I took it really, really hard. And I don't know exactly how long. It wasn't too long after he died. I wasn't doing any bad things. I was in my right mind. I wasn't crazy. I fell asleep one night, and I was at like his old house where he was at, but it was different. It was weird, and it wasn't really like a dream, you know. Especially for me, dreams, I can't remember a dream for nothing. This was, I remember every detail. It was so crystal clear. It was me, him, and his dad was there. And another weird thing, it was just the outside of his house and like the street. It was like a basketball goal, and the color was different. It was like bright and dull at the same time. Real hard to put into words. It was almost like it's not that there was nothing else there. It was like I wasn't allowed to see anything else. Like this, best way I can put it. There's not words for how to describe it really. But while I was there, the two things that stick out in my memory the absolute most is that first, me and his dad are getting younger and younger and younger as it goes on. And the second is the absolute peace and joy. All we were doing is just talking, playing basketball, playing washers, just having fun. And the absolute joy of it, man, I'm telling you, it don't matter what you got going on in this life. You're there for 2 minutes and it's gone. You don't care anymore. And I got down where, like I said, we were getting younger the whole time, me and his dad. He wasn't. He looked over at me and I looked at his dad and I was like, hey, you're really young looking. And I noticed I had like an 8-year-old voice and I was like, what? And he looked back at me and was like, oh, you got to go, dummy head. And he like put his hand over my face and just shoved me out. And as soon as I shoved my face like that, instantly woke up. Instantly. And that next morning where he shoved me like that in the dream, that whole side of my face, I was paralyzed for a month straight. Like exactly 30 days. I couldn't see anything. Or I couldn't move anything. That stayed with me for so long. And I had such a drive for knowledge, which, skipping ahead quite a bit for time reasons and other things, God moved me in my life in a direction to where I would have not only the time and the ability, but the thirst to figure out what I went through. And then he guided me to this app. I highly recommend it to everybody, called Verse by Verse Ministry, taught by Pastor Stephen Armstrong. Go to the App Store. It's on the Apple iStore and the Google Play Store. It's great teacher. And where I'm at in life now, I'm able to, at my work, where I work every day, approximately 9 hours a day, I get to listen to that teaching in the earbud right there, which is, if you want to know where I get all of my information from, that's where. And because of that experience that I had, where I went to go visit, the way I describe it is, Jesus took me to my friend. He wanted me to show me where he's at, and wanted to guide me in my life to where I could go there too. Jesus wanted me to go there. He wanted me in heaven. Well, he got it. He got his lost sheep back. And now, I've now dedicated my life to teaching other people, inspired by Pastor Armstrong and Verse by Verse Ministry. Teach other people and spread the gospel. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm eventually going to go to seminary and become a pastor. And as for right now, I'm going to keep doing testimony videos. So in the description and in the comments, there's going to be an email dedicated to taking your testimonies. I want to hear your testimony, your miracles. Send them to me and I'll put them on here. I want to shine a light on all of God's glorious greatness and glory that he does and nobody ever hears about. So send me your testimonies. God bless y'all.